aore pea I a koe te mana whakahaere I ngā āhuatanga ka pā ki a koe. Engari, kai a koe te whakatau. Kia kaua koe e iri whau.
Looking different to all the other kids. That was tough. I was faced with a lot of bullying. It was, hey man, you're not one of us.
Ain't nobody like me, oh yeah. Ain't nobody like me,
My name is Mohammed. Stage name Muse. From Auckland, New Zealand.
Ain't nobody like me, Ain't nobody like me, oh yeah.
I'm a first generation Somali, Kiwi refugee, a long title. Came to New Zealand when I was 2 years old, back in 1995. Came here fleeing really bad civil war and a dire situation. It was a collapse of an entire government. You know, when a nation like that collapses, it's very, very ugly. And there's a lot of inter-tribal tension. It was pretty much anarchy. I came here with my mom and dad and my 2 siblings, and we just found a new home. Growing up as a kid here, around, the mid-90s to early 2000s, this was probably the most diverse area in the entire country. And this was just a hub for immigrants, refugees. So, you had a real diverse population, a lot of Somalis, a lot of Ethiopians, a lot of Afghanis, a lot of people from India as well. Community of people, I guess, just in the same situation, navigating a new life.
All the kids around my way.
Other kids.
Hope that they get through the day.
I have to make it through.
And I'm inside just counting blues.
The biggest problem that you're faced with early on in your life is finding your identity.
Yeah.
It's a very, very unique struggle where they do not feel like they fit the mold of the society around them. But at the same time, they go home and they still feel the same. Not really finding a strong identity in either world, so they've got to kind of shape their own. I'm putting pen to paper, let my thoughts sink in. I'm just trying to let it all sink in. How'd I come from almost being a cold case to sharing a stage with Ghostface, still running at my own pace. Gone are the days I used to showcase my talent to friends and await approval. Nowadays I really show face. With all the judgment and sentences, life's a running court case, feeling like 42, running through the 4th base. Well, it was very difficult because, as particularly from my community, we were probably the first wave of, Somali or African migrants, refugees that came into the country. So in terms of real life role models in the community, that was impossible.
Follow through, I'm handing out lessons and classes and sessions. She gon' say my shit is whack cause she can't take rejection. Don't come around these ways expecting redemption. Go and find you a reverend, young, black and pretentious.
We looked to pop culture for our role models. Movies, biggest thing was hip-hop, man. Hip-hop was that.
Fill a pattern pen to show you niggas where the magic is.
I'm seeing black artists that look like me, rapping with all these different cadences and flows. I'm just like, wow, that's magic.
Still my face shows more resolve, but still I fear it's not enough.
Still follow what they say, follow the pain. $1 million missiles aimed at people living on $1 a day. President gotta say to them, they don't want refugees, but still creating them. And if you disagree, you're aiding and abetting them.
I actually didn't start writing music properly till I was about 18, 19. And being accepted by, hip-hop artists that you've always, looked up to, that's probably been one of the more rewarding things, and it just the dog feeling of belonging, yeah.
19 the first time I wrote a rhyme on a page, 21 the first time I saw a mic.
The empowerment, I think, is the biggest thing about hip-hop that I love the most. No other genre empowers people the way it does.
Not to mention inspiring a generation.
Hip-hop is part of my identity, but it's also how to find my identity too.
Tonight's not a joke, man. All the early birds have been sold out now. Yeah. Bro, we might pack this out. I'm super excited. I feel like, stars are aligning, man.
How we all doing tonight? Yeah, we're about to get things back up and running. We've got Mo Muse in the house, yo. This is first Christchurch show, showing some love, and then we got the hope.
As a kid, I was conditioned to hide my story. I didn't tell anyone where I was from, what my background was, what the circumstances was of coming to New Zealand.
All the kids right my way have lost hope, and all the kids right my way just don't cope, and all the kids right my way would rather be somebody they're not, cause of nobody gets no love.
It's amazing because the biggest lesson I learned was that my biggest power was in sharing my story. And when I found that out, that's when everything took off. That's how you get to a place where, you are performing in front of all these very keen listeners in the audience.
That was crazy. That show was wild. In my mind, it could not have gone any better. And I'm just so proud that that was the response, considering it was my first show in Christchurch. I feel like that was real special. That was a moment where I connected with majority of the crowd.
It was just an unbelievable feeling of liberation when I did find my story and really tell it.
Ko te kurahuna o te oranga o te tangata. Kāore I roto I te whakapū mautanga. Kia ora tonu. Engari, hai roto kē. I te rapu, I te tahi take. Kia ora tonu.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.